Hi, this is Alessio. Hope you're well, and welcome to a brand new video update on XRP. So in this video, we'll have another look at the chart of XRP and also I'll briefly mention the chart of Bitcoin later in the video here as well. Now let's begin firstly with XRP. Now you may remember my earlier videos this year on XRP. In fact, you may recall what I said about XRP back on the 6th of January. You may remember that as XRP was crashing here back at the start of this year, in fact, right over here, you may recall what I said at the time about XRP. Let me just play for the clip and we'll come back. As long as XRP can remain above this support and respect this support of 0.17, I think I can reasonably say that it's possible, and indeed probable, that XRP has likely bottomed here, okay? And that potentially we've seen capitulation on XRP at these levels, provided this level holds. If we've bottomed here, which I think is likely, then I can say, well, the C wave of the probable wave 2 has likely completed here at this level you're seeing here at 0.17. All right, guys? So we're seeing two trend lines, by the way, here. That means if XRP is able to, in other words, if in the next few months is able to, as shown to you by my green line, let's say we then break through in the next few months above this trend line, going above 0.3, pushing it above the 200 average and 21 average, then yes, I think that would be a strong probability that therefore XRP has put in perhaps a V bottom, some kind of V bottoming formation here. I think it's actually more likely that the more likely wave count is that, I'll do this for you in yellow. This entire move, this entire rally, in my view, is likely wave 1. Again, a smaller wave 1 within a larger wave 3. The larger wave 3 could extend, just let you know, the larger wave 3 could extend much higher. Okay, could actually go significantly higher. All right, guys, as you heard there in that video, back earlier this year and the end of December when XRP was crashing here, in fact, one of the biggest and most intense crashes we've had in this crypto. As you can see here, it fell from about almost 0.8, 0.79 here, all the way down to 0.17. As you saw in that video, we remained bullish here, despite the fact that everybody else was panicking. So as the world was panicking, as everybody else was saying, oh my God, it's over for XRP, we remained bullish on XRP. And I said at the time, as you recall in that video, I said, look, as long as XRP remains above this level, 0.17, 0.1725, then very likely we've seen capitulation here on XRP, and this could be the bottom. And then I said it's quite likely we could start the third wave very soon on XRP. But guys, before we go into a deep analysis of XRP and where I think it's likely heading for the next few months and for the rest of this year, I want to first of all mention something very important. You see, guys, if by now you know somebody out there who's still not convinced that the market or indeed price action is driven not by news or fundamentals, but by technicals, then they have not learned a lesson. I think by now they've probably learned a lesson that what drives price action, what drives a market, is not the news, is not all that fundamentals nonsense, but it's technicals. It's sentiment or emotion. So what that means is this. What that means is when XRP crashed last year or in December, beginning of this year, you'll see when XRP was doing this and falling dramatically, okay, pretty much everyone gave up. At this point, essentially what you had was capitulation. Okay, and I said this at the time. I said this, look, this very likely was capitulation on XRP. You see, XRP bottomed here for the same reason that the stock market bottomed last year in March, if you recall. Why? Because of this. Let's take a look. Because of emotions. Guys, what drives the market, what drives price, is not the news, is not fundamentals, all that nonsense mumbo jumbo. No, it's emotion. Okay, and unfortunately, guys, people have still not learned this lesson. I keep saying it over and over again in my videos, but very few people actually pay attention or indeed learn this lesson. But I know you as viewers of this channel, and because I know you're sophisticated and intelligent individuals, I know you know this, but unfortunately people out there don't get this. That essentially what happened here, guys, last year was capitulation occurred in XRP and also the stock market, guys. So over here, look at the emotions here. First, it was euphoria. That's usually at the market top. When a market top occurs, you have maximum euphoria, excitement, and greed. Greed over here, okay? Then what happens here? Then what happens is anxiety and denial. Usually at the start of a major correction or crash or a downtrend, there is denial here, okay? And then that turns into fear, and fear turns into panic, and yes, eventually it turns into capitulation here. Okay. By the way, capitulation does not mean the exact bottom. Capitulation is more of a zone, an area where price is very likely to form a bottom, just like it did in the stock market and just like it did in XRP. Okay, guys. So bottom line, guys, the point I'm trying to drive home here is that, again, so far, our analysis, as I'm sure you know by now, our analysis of XRP has been correct based on the wave count and Elliott waves, as you can see here. And by the way, guys, this is why I keep saying, this is why Elliott wave theory is so important. The reason why we look at Elliott wave theory and not the news, all that mumbo-jumbo nonsense about fundamentals, is because Elliott wave theory follows market psychology. It follows the psychology of the herd. The herd, the majority of people out there, they were wrong here, and they were wrong here. Maximum greed and euphoria here, maximum capitulation and panic over here. This is why we look at Elliott wave theory and the charts to determine the psychology of the crowd, the psychology of the herd. Okay, guys? And this is why the famous trader Bernard Baruch once said, he said, "Show me the charts and I will tell you the news." And you guys remember the news about XRP? Everything about XRP was bad at the time. The news was bad. So at this point, all you heard about XRP, you saw the headlines, was that, it's probably going to be delisted from all the exchanges. Like Coinbase, for example, said it was suspending all trading on its exchange. At this point, you had maximum panic, maximum capitulation. Psychology was terrible at this point, okay? And guys, the reason why XRP bottomed is because there were no more sellers left at this point. There was no more sellers left who could push the market down. For the same exact reason, by the way, that the S&P, the stock market, bottomed here. Because at this point, guys, you had capitulation, which means what? Which means there were no more sellers left. Guys, how can the price keep going down if there are no more sellers left? Because everyone who could have sold, at this point, guys, everyone who could have sold had sold. Okay, let's get back to the chart of XRP. And I'm sure you're wondering by now what my thoughts are about the chart of XRP right now and what this chart potentially is telling us about the next several months and for the rest of this year. Well, guys, as I said before, in my videos back in early January and also in February, I kept repeating this point. I'm going to say it again. I said that, look, I think very likely we've seen waves 1. So let me just draw this on the chart. 1, and this is wave 2. Okay? So there you have it. Wave 1, wave 2. Now, these are in red. The red counts essentially we're talking about the bigger wave counts, the larger wave counts. Okay? The ones in white here, they're the minor counts. Okay. So I think very likely on the balance of probabilities, because the XRP chart went above the level I mentioned to you back in January, because we're above the trend line, okay, then very likely we are now in the wave 3, in the larger wave 3. Now, just to explain to you what I mean by this, take a look at this chart. So what I'm talking about is this. I think that very likely we've seen our wave 1, our wave 2 retracement, okay. So I think wave 2 bottomed there back in January at the 0.1725 level. By the way, something I have to mention here. Wave 2 usually is quite deep. Usually wave 2 retracements tend to be about 61.8%, the golden ratio, to 78.6% that I've written here, okay? So they're usually quite deep, these wave 2 retracements. And if that's correct, therefore, I think we are now here. I think very likely, guys, we are now in the wave 1. So I'll do this in blue. I think likely we're in the wave 1 of a larger wave 3. You see this larger wave 3 here? Okay. So wave 1 and 2 I think have completed here, the larger wave 1 and 2. And I think we are now in the larger wave 3, but where are we in the wave 3 in XRP? I think very likely we are here in the wave 1, the smaller wave 1 of the larger wave 3. Okay. I'm sure you know by now that in Elliott wave theory, we have waves within waves. So each wave is composed of smaller waves, okay? So I think we are now in wave 1, and as I'm sure you know by now, if we are in wave 1 of a larger wave 3, that means wave 2 is coming. I think a wave 2 correction is likely in the next few months. And here's something you should know. That wave 2 correction, when it comes, okay, that could be quite deep. So it's worth remembering that. In fact, let me read you this passage from the book The Elliott Wave Principle by Frost and Prechter. And by the way, guys, if you're looking for a great book on Elliott Wave theory, get this book over here, The Elliott Wave Principle by Frost and Prechter. Listen to what they say on page 44. They say, second waves, or wave 2, often retrace so much of wave 1, as you can see here, it says over here, so much of wave 1, that most of the advancement up to that time is eroded away by the time it ends. It says, an environment of fear during the second waves, And it says, at this point, market participants are thoroughly convinced that the bear market is here to stay. And by the way, this is exactly what happened. Let's go back to the chart of XRP. That is precisely what happened back in December and in January. Remember this? When XRP crashed, people forgot all about the charts. They forgot all about support, resistance. They just paid attention to the news. People, all they cared about was the news, the bad news. But actually what happened here is, look, we had our 5 waves up. Wave 1, then the wave 2 crash, okay? And wave 2 crashes, as that book mentioned here, it said, look, at this point, everyone is convinced we're in a bear market. At this point, everyone thinks that it's over. We're going into a downtrend. That's not the case. So I think what's happening right now, guys, I think we are now in the wave 3, the bigger wave 3, okay? As you can see here, I've labeled this here in red, okay? I think we are now in the larger wave 3, as we predicted months ago. We predicted this back over here, in fact, back in January and also in February as well. So I think on the balance of probabilities, the more likely wave count is that we are in wave 1 of the larger wave 3. So if we are in the larger wave 3, that means we're in the smaller wave 1, okay? Shown to you in green. I'll do this here for you so you can see it. There it is. I've labeled this 1, and that means very likely we're looking for a wave 2 correction into this zone. Actually, it could be this zone over here. It is a wide zone, but I think the more likely retracement levels here are in these levels down here. By the way, in case you're wondering, why do I think we are in wave 1? Because we can count 5 waves. Let me just expand my chart so you can see it. Okay, let me just zoom a bit here. Okay, so you can see that it's quite likely that we've just made a 5-wave move up. Let me show you what I mean. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and this I think is now wave 5. Now I'm not saying the wave 5 is topped here. We don't know exactly where wave 5 is going to top, and I'm referring to wave 5 of 1. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 5 could, for example, extend all the way to the blue line here, which is the 161th extension of the prior rally. Okay, so bottom line is, guys, look, I think we are now in this wave 5, and we'll just have to wait for this wave 5 of 1 to complete. Again, I don't know exactly where this wave 5 is going to complete or where it's going to top. What I do think is likely, what I think is highly probable, is when this wave 5 eventually completes, I mean wave 5 of 1, just to be clear, I'm talking about wave 5 of 1, which is this wave 1 you're seeing here. I'll do it in green, okay? Wave 5 of 1. And by 1, I'm talking about the wave 1 of a larger wave 3, okay? I'm hoping that's very clear, okay? So once this green wave 1 completes, then I think we're going to have a wave 2 correction here, probably down into these levels. Wave 2 corrections can be quite deep, just to let you know. It could come down here to 0.58, 0.585 level, or it could be deeper. It could come to the 0.42 to potentially 0.38. Okay, but here's the bottom line, guys. For this analysis to be correct, if that is correct, if I'm right about this, which I think I am, but if I am right that we are in the wave 1 and we are in the, let's say, again, let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. And again, my analysis is that we have capitulated here. We actually bottomed here. As I said to you months ago, back in January, I think that was the bottom on XRP. Now, if that's correct, and we are in wave 3, that means we're in wave 1 of 3, then the next retracement on XRP must not fall below 0.36. I want, if there's a wave 2, I want it to stay above 0.36. Why? Because if, for example, the retracement goes too deep, if it goes below 0.36, then the odds of this being indeed a bottom for XRP will be reduced. In other words, any wave 2 retracement, ideally I want it to hold this level here, above 0.36. Because below 0.36, I think the odds of an uptrend will be reduced. Okay, in fact, it would break this trend line, as a matter of fact, I think as well. So bottom line is, guys, look, if the next retracement, the next wave 2 pullback or retracement, whatever you want to call it, as long as it holds, as long as that retracement holds above 0.36, then I will continue to remain bullish for the long term on XRP. And I think that once it completes here, if XRP actually completes its wave 2 correction in this zone, okay, then I think we could see that next major wave 3 higher for the end of this year. That wave 3, by the way, just let you know, that wave 3 by the end of this year could take us, as you can see here, all the way to the $2 level, and potentially even higher. Okay, potentially even higher than that. These are just my humble and more realistic, shall we say, projections for Wave 3. But before we can get there, guys, listen, I don't want to get ahead of myself here. Before we can have a high probability that we're going to head to the Wave 3 continuation, I first want to see a pullback. Okay, and that pullback is necessary. It's important to show to us this wave count is correct. Okay, this actually is very interesting because I think XRP and Bitcoin are now in sync. What I mean is, I think that on the balance of probabilities, Bitcoin is likely to put a correction as well. I think Bitcoin is well overdue for a correction after this massive rally. So I think when Bitcoin starts the correction for itself, that could also drag XRP down with it. So I think Bitcoin and XRP will start their corrections. Different wave counts, by the way. They have different wave counts. But I think XRP will have its own Wave 2 correction when Bitcoin starts its own correction as well. Thanks very much, guys. Again, please remember, if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe today. And also, please hit the bell icon to make sure you're notified of our future video updates. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.